Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thomas J. Henry Game Night, South Texas. We're live at Cavanis Field tonight for a high school football game between two teams who know each other very well. The Gregory Portland Wildcats are taking on the Moody Trojans. The Trojans, of course, are the home team. This is the district opener for both teams, so it's a big game. And I'm Alan Harwell. Glad to have you here tonight. My partner tonight is a newcomer to Chris Six, Patrick Johnstone. And Patrick, glad to have you tonight. You're making your Chris Six debut, and it's your first Texas high school football game. What do you think so far?
Yeah, thanks, Alan. It's good to be here. I got a little bit of a taste of high school football here yesterday with the Veterans Memorial and King game, but this is going to be my first full action. I'm very excited. I've heard about the lore of Texas high school football. I'm going to get to experience it today. All
right, Patrick comes from Nebraska, where they play some pretty good football, too, there. And so this is your first chance to see these two teams, and I know you got some players to watch tonight.
Yeah, so a couple of guys to watch for Moody. We got Dakota Cullum, the QB. He had 300 total yards of offense last week and 4 touchdowns. And then one of his receivers, Nathaniel Sada, he had a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and 2 return touchdowns. And on the other side of the ball, for GP, Colleen Goldsby, he had 9 carries in a game that they were down for most of it, but they had 70 yards. That's 7.8 yards per carry, so be sure to keep an eye on him. And on the defensive side, James Durham had 12 total tackles in the game, and he only had 6 total tackles in 3 games last year as a sophomore, so keep an eye on him to be flying around making plays.
All right, Patrick, sounds like you got his coverage tonight. We look forward to your commentary throughout the game, and again, this is a big one. It is the district opener, and both teams only had really just one non-district game to prepare for this, so this is going to be a fun game to watch. And as you can tell, the Moody Trojans are going to get the football first to start this game, and it's a great night for football. Clear skies, 75 degrees, a wind out of the east tonight at 12 miles per hour, and just a very, very low chance of any kind of rain tonight. So I think we're going to have a great night for football, and we are certainly looking forward to it, and we shall see how this game develops. So the GP Wildcats kicking off to the Moody Trojans, and we are underway, and a little bit of a drop there, but they've got the ball okay, and here we go, and Moody is going to start the game from the 25-yard line. So that's where we stand right now. And the Trojans, coming off that big opening night win a week ago yesterday, they beat the Beeville Trojans 46-43. This is a team that has a lot of firepower on that offensive side. They've got 3 great running backs. All 3 are very, very good, and they've got an outstanding quarterback in Dakota Cullum. And he is a senior. Now, all 3 running backs, Patrick, are juniors, so this team is loaded and ready to go. All right, so here we go. The Trojans on 1st and 10, and it's a handoff, and it's a short gain of about 3 yards. So we'll see a lot of running tonight from the Moody Trojans. They will throw, and when they throw, they're very effective.
Yeah, Alan, you're talking about that running game, and GP allowed 347 yards on the ground to Cal Allen last week, so look for the Trojans to pound that ball and try to take advantage of that.
All right, that was a gain of officially 5 yards, so it's now 2nd and 5, and the pass out, it is complete to number 7, Darrell Asbell, and he'll get a Moody first down, and they'll move the chains. And again, we talked about the fact that Moody doesn't really throw a whole lot, but when they do, it's very effective. And it is there as they gain a first down. So they'll have it 1st and 10 now from their own 37-yard line. And Dakota Cullum brings them up to the line of scrimmage. And this is Nathaniel Sada trying to get outside. There's nobody there. Well, he got maybe a couple of yards. Just not a whole lot of daylight. Good pursuit there by the GP defense. Patrick?
Yeah, and Sada is a weapon for the Trojans. He had 106 yards receiving last week. Only had a couple of yards rushing, but last year had plenty of yards on the ground. And like I said earlier, he had 2 return touchdowns. So get the ball in that guy's hand and watch him work.
Yeah, I told Coach Rick Rhodes, I said, I know you know all about Nathaniel Sada. This guy is he is a big weapon. So here come the Trojans now, 2nd and 8 from their own 38-yard line. And they'll keep it on the ground, and there is nowhere to run for Mr. Salceda there. And that's good, again, pursuit by GP. And you know, Patrick, that they were looking at film all week. They saw what Moody was able to do against Beeville a week ago.
Yeah, and you saw the guy making that tackle. That was cornerback James Durham that I talked about. He had 12 tackles last week, and there he was. He was the lone guy there for the tackle, and if he didn't make that tackle, that could have been a huge play.
Well, it's a big play now. It's 3rd and 10. It's obviously a passing situation. Let's see if the Trojans will put the ball in the air, and they will. And they're going to roll it left, and we got a completion. It's going to be a little bit short of a first down as Asbell makes the catch from quarterback Dakota Cullum. So it's decision time now for the Trojans, and it looks like they are going to go for it.
And this could really set the pace for the game, kind of set the tone as well. If they make this 4th down conversion, it's really going to be a good tie turner. But if they get held, that's going to give a lot of confidence to the Wildcat defense.
All right, let's see what happens now. 4th and exactly 2 yards. So Cullum brings them up, and they're going to get the first down. And the Trojans are going to keep the ball. They're going to move the chain. So a nice opening drive for the Moody Trojans.
And that was Daquan Lindsay, goes by DQ, just kind of finding a hole, making his feet work, and getting in there for the first down.
Well, we've already seen all 3 of the running backs carry the football on this opening drive. So they are top-heavy when it comes to running the football. So they've got a fresh set of downs, and we've got a penalty. I think it's going to go against the Moody Trojans. False start.
And with those 3 running backs, if you can just get consistent runs from each of those guys, and you can kind of keep the Wildcats defense on their toes, they might not know who's going to get the ball when and what kind of looks to take.
All right, so let's settle back 5 yards. So it's now going to be 1st and 15 for the Trojans on their own 45-yard line. And they go back to the run game, and it's a big, big gainer here for Asbell, and he'll take it down the right side all the way down to about the 26-yard line.
And a huge block by, I believe it was Nathaniel Sada on the corner there. He got it, I believe it was the end or the linebacker, kind of tabletopped him as Asbell was running past, opened up that big hole for him to get down the line.
So all the way down to the 27-yard line. It's a big pickup for the Trojans, and boy, they are running some clock here. 9:20 to play here in the first quarter. We're just now underway at Cabinets Field, week 6 of the high school season, but this is the district opener for both teams. So not a whole lot here, maybe 3 yards gained by the Trojans. That'll set it up for a 2nd and about 7. Trojans put up 46 points a week ago against Beeville. No one really knew what to expect in that game, Patrick, because Moody, that was their first game. Beeville had already played, I want to say, at least 3 games. And it just, who needs preseason, right, Patrick? Just come out and play, right?
Yeah, and the good thing for these Trojans, they have a lot of returning players on offense that started last year.
Oh, yeah, they certainly know the system. Handoff up the middle. It's a short game for DQ Lindsay. So it looks like Moody's going to have another 3rd down play, and it's certainly manageable. It's going to be about 3rd and 3, 3.5 yards. I would imagine, Patrick, they're in 4-down territory here.
You'd have to think so, but not sure. How's the kicking game down here in South Texas?
Well, we got some good kickers. And this is going to be maybe DQ again, but I think he's going to be he's going to be right on the marker. Let's see where they mark the football.
Looks like he's going to be just a bit short. Definitely want to go for this on such a short yardage situation.
He did get the first down.
All right.
So he got it by about a yard. So some good running there by DQ. And he does like the initials DQ. We made sure, and he's, oh yeah, call me DQ. We like that, so he likes that. So DQ Lindsay picks up the first down. So here we are, 1st and 16, or actually 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Cullum barking out the calls, and Asbell he's close.
It was a good run on first down. Kind of had the end around sort of action there to get to the outside and find a hole. And it looks like, yep, they're going to get the first down. It's going to be goal line now.
That's right, 1st and goal, and they can do a lot here. And again, you got 3 guys that can carry the ball, and Dakota Cullum, the quarterback, can also carry the ball as well. He's a big guy. He's hard to bring down, but he hasn't had to run the ball yet tonight. Oh, this is going to be easy for DQ as he rolls in untouched, and the Moody Trojans are on the board on the run by DQ Lindsay.
It looked like he had a hole right in the middle there, but bounced to the outside. There was no one there as well, so just kind of finds that opening, and pretty easy when you don't have to even break a tackle to get to the end zone.
Well, 7:06 to play here in the first period. The Trojans strike first on their opening drive, so they did exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to eat clock, keep the ball on the ground. They only threw the ball once, and it was a completion. And the Trojans on now for the extra point. And it is good. So, with 7:06 to play here in the first period, you're watching Game Night. South Texas brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. And the Moody Trojans take the early 7-0 lead. All right, welcome back to Thomas J. Henry. Game Night South Texas live high school football from Cabinets Field. Alan Harwell with Patrick Johnstone here, bringing you the broadcast. The Trojans take the opening drive, 75 yards, and they score. So now the Gregory Portland Wildcats will get the ball for the first time. Let's see how they do. Wildcats coming off a 35-7 loss to Cal Allen a week ago tonight, so let's see how they do this evening as the Trojans prepare to kick off here. And it's going to be a short kick. And that's Brian Harris with the ball. And, boy, I tell you what, he went backwards, nowhere to go, and he's down to about the 19-yard line. So that's where the Gregory Portland Wildcats will start. And they're led by their quarterback, Gage Gleinig, senior.
This offense had under 200 yards total last week, so they're going to look to get that started against the Trojans' defense. But like I said, keep an eye on Colleen Goldsby. He did average 7.8 yards per carry in a game where the game script was not beneficial to be running the ball.
He's a home run hitter. He can run the football, and he can also get those tough yards. And there he goes, right up the gut on their first call, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see out of him. Give him the ball, get him some open space, and it took just a couple of Trojan defenders to bring him down.
So Colleen Goldsby picks up the first down on their first play from scrimmage. So a nice start for the GP Wildcats. Gage Gleinig, the quarterback for the Wildcats. And he'll throw it out the right-hand side. It's a catch. That's Brian Harris. Brian's got a first down and more, all the way down to about the 48-yard line. So Patrick, GP coming out and looking pretty good. They pick up first downs on their first two plays.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to see if you're a Wildcat fan. Two big plays to come out of the gates, and you got to take advantage of the plays when you're giving them and keep the Trojans on their heels.
So the Wildcats have first down and 10 from their own 47-yard line. And the offense looks good so far. And this is a handoff this time. And this time it's number 25, Dalvin Batts with the carry.
Batts is just a sophomore, but he got a couple of touches in the game last week, so look to see if they want to give Goldsby a little bit of a break to see Batts come in and take some touches.
Well, it was a gain of about 3.5, so it's now going to be second and a long 7. Gleinig. That ball is going to get knocked down. I believe it may have been intercepted, and it was by number 5, Devon Munoz, but I think there's a flag on the play. Let's see.
looks like they're calling it for Moody. That was a great play by Jonathan Everett. He came off the edge untouched, got to the quarterback, and he just jumped as the ball came out, tipped it, and that allowed the play for Munoz.
All right, so there is no flag on the play. It looked like maybe someone had moved early, but apparently not. So a big turnover force by the Moody defense. So that gives the offense great field position now. They're inside Gregory Portland territory at the 49-yard line. So quarterback Dakota Cullum brings them out after leading them on a 75-yard drive on the opening possession to take the early 7-0 lead. So let's see how they do. 3 runners in the backfield. And this time it's going to be Asbell with the carry. And he's going to pick up about 7.
Yeah, a good play. And like I said earlier, if you can have a bunch of guys in the backfield, you're not sure who's going to get the ball when they're all getting these touches. So you give the ball to Asbell, you can give the ball to someone else next time, and they're all going to be getting some good yards in.
You're right. It's really hard to really pinpoint one guy. Any of these guys can carry the football, and they can carry it with authority. They've all got a lot of speed, too. So 2nd and 2 now. And this time it's DQ Lindsay. Look at him go. No, actually, it is Darrell Asbury. And he is – did he get tripped? Nope, it is a touchdown for the Moody Trojans. Asbury taking it down the right side. Looked like it was 4, then the pitch to Asbell. Look at him go, and he was able to get into the end zone. So
yeah, that was a great read on the pitch.
Really was. Had me faked out.
Yeah, he was covered up, and there's just open was Asbell, and then he took it the rest of the way. He was tripped up, but he extended the ball and got it across the line before his knee touched.
All right. And the extra point is up, and it is good. John Pablo Rocha knocks it home. 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Trojans. 5:07 to play here in the first period. Moody 14 and GP 0. We're back after this. Welcome back to Thomas J. Henry. Game night, South Texas. Moody with the kickoff, and the Wildcats are going to get a nice return here. That's Eric Alaniz, number 11.
A little bit of trickery there as Brian Harris received the kickoff and did a little bit of a switch on the play. Harris gave it to Alaniz, and he took it a nice yardage, and they got it across the 50-yard line.
Well, the Trojans did a good job of taking advantage of the turnover, and then they only scored on about 4 plays. That's all it would take to go 49 yards and score. They're going to bring the ball back. Apparently, that little trickery is going to cost GP a penalty. So let's see what the call is here. In case you just joined us, we're in the first quarter, 4:59 to play, and the Trojans have a 14-0 lead. This will only be GP's second time to have the football tonight. The first time, they got 2 quick first downs, and then they got an interception by Moody to get the ball back. So here we go as they will start from their own 29-yard line, and that is Goldsby around the right side. There's just nothing there. Good defensive pursuit there by the Moody Trojans.
But Goldsby able to put his shoulder down and get a couple extra yards through the contact just to kind of keep the ball moving, keep the chains moving.
So we'll call it officially 2nd and 9. Gage Glannig and his GP offense. And listen, they're going to what Coach Rick Rhodes calls up here. And he'll pass it out to Brian Harrison. Good pursuit there by that Moody defense. Simply nowhere to go. It's almost like, Patrick, Moody is in that GP huddle knowing what's coming.
Yeah, and there was that cornerback was behind the blocker, so there was almost even a block in the back on that play, and he still made the play. And the Wildcats had a lot of momentum on their last drive before the interception, and now 2 plays, and they haven't really gotten the ball to move at all.
Well, they lost a yard there on that last play, so now it's almost third and about 9.5. And the clock is running, 3:46 to play here in the first period. Gage Gleinig, let's see what he can do here. And we had a Moody player jump off sides. Let's see, unless he was drawn. Let's find out. All right, offsides against the Moody Trojans, so that'll be 5 yards the other way. And that's going to obviously benefit the GP Wildcats. Try to make this third down conversion a little bit easier now. Third and about 5.
That really helps them out. They can open up the playbook a little bit more since they don't have as far to go to get the first down.
Gage Gleinig in the backfield is quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Goldsby. And look at that, right up the middle. And look at him go, 40 down to about the 37-yard line. And he shows everybody it's a first down. So Goldsby with a great run up the middle. I tell you what, he's a big kid, and once he gets going, he's hard to bring down.
He's a big kid, but he had some nice footwork, kind of juking out the safety on that, kind of get past him, and he was caught from behind for the tackle to stop him where he could have been gone. So
first and 10 now on the Moody 35-yard line, and Gleinig is going to keep it himself. But man, there is nothing there.
Big penetration by the defense there.
That's right, Patrick. Big stop there by the Trojans. No gain. So it's now going to be 2nd and 10. 2:46 left to play here in the first quarter. 14-0 Moody. GP has been able to move the ball. The only thing that killed them on that first drive was the turnover. But they've had pretty good success tonight so far. And this is Brian Harris. Nice catch. 30, another first down. 25, 20, all the way down. Pushed down of bounds at around the 17-yard line. So another first down for the GP Wildcats.
And Harris was losing that ball as he got pushed out of bounds, so the Wildcats have to be careful with the ball. You don't want another turnover here, especially as they're, again, driving with the football.
This is a big drive for GP. They can't afford to get down by 3 scores, and right now they're down 2, so they're trying to cut that lead in half right now. 1st and 10 now from the Moody 18-yard line.
Looks like they're going to call a false start.
Man, that's always a big killer, Patrick. Well, you get a good drive going, and then you have something like that kind of bog you down a little bit. So,
yeah, penalties can definitely take the wind out of the sail, mess up the momentum, and hopefully the Wildcats can kind of move past that and get the ball rolling again.
All right, so that makes it 1st and 15 now. Let's see if that changes up the play calling here on first down. And that's Goldsby again, and he'll get up to around the original line of scrimmage, a pickup of almost 5 yards. Coach Rick Rhodes said they're going to keep the ball on the ground. At least they hope to. That's the plan of attack. And so far they've had run the ball pretty effectively.
Yeah, it seems to be working well. When you got a guy like Goldsby in the backfield, as long as he's still getting positive yards, you're going to keep feeding him.
All right, so 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats. And it's quarterback keeper. Gleinig maybe a pickup of maybe 2 or 3, so it's going to be 3rd and long now for the Wildcats. And I would imagine, Patrick, this is probably 4-down territory, especially when you're down 14 early in the ball game, and we got 55 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you would think so, and they actually just had 2 running backs on the field, but they took Dalvin Batts out in favor of Connor Durrill, so they might be passing here on 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised. I was at their practice the other day, and they were looking good on the passing game. They had a whole bunch of pass plays in their arsenal that they can use. So looks like we got a timeout, and it's a Moody Trojan timeout. So there's 34 seconds to play. So Patrick Johnstone is making his Chris 6 debut tonight. Patrick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from New York. I grew up about an hour outside of New York City, and I just want to give a special shout out to my parents who are actually watching this game online all the way up in New York. So, hey, Mom and Dad. And I actually graduated from Temple University in 2017, and then I interned with the New York Islanders, moved out to Nebraska to work for a news station in North Platte, and then I just moved here about 2 weeks ago. So this is my first full week working, and here I am at Cabinets Stadium calling a football game with you, Alan. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm very glad to be out here tonight.
Well, we're glad to have you, Patrick. If you'd have said you'd be here a year ago, you'd say, what?
Yeah.
Texas high school football, really? Wow,
Yeah.
Okay.
If you would have told me a week ago that I'd be here right now, I'd be confused, but I'm excited about it.
Well, I'm excited about this play here. It's 3rd and 7 now as the GP Wildcats try to keep this drive alive as Gage Gleinig is going to – oh, man, Brian Harris had it, just could not hold on to it. So it's decision time now for Coach Rick Rhodes and his Wildcats. What are they going to do here? Are they going to kick a field goal or are they going to go for it? And it looks like they're going to go for it as the offense stays on the field. Well, that play looked like it was going to develop really nicely, but Harris could not hold on to the ball.
Yeah, just a little screen pass. Gleinig threw it a little bit in front of Harris, but he got his fingertips on it, so he could have pulled that in. And now it's a 4th and long, and down 2 scores. You really want to get this first down and even a touchdown to keep yourselves in the game.
All right, let's see what happens. Huge play now as Gleinig drops back, got plenty of time. Now he's going to roll left, and he's going to keep it himself, and he is not going to get the first down as he is brought down by number 23, Elias Sierra. So some good defense there by the Trojans, and they push GP back. And the Wildcats had such a promising drive there, but it bogged down there on them. And now Moody will get the ball back.
Yeah, on that play, Gleinig had a couple of receivers on the left side of the end zone. He was looking for them, but the Moody secondary, had a lot of defenders back there. They covered him well, and there's just no opening, so he tried to tuck the ball and run, but he was tackled.
So Moody will start now, 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line, and that is Sada with the ball, and Nathaniel Sada will pick up about 3, and that's going to be the final play of the first period. I imagine they'll just let it run down. There's about 12 seconds left to play. It's been a good start so far for the Trojans, 2 possessions and 2 touchdowns. So that will end the first quarter. You're watching Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas. Moody 14, GP 0. We're back for the second quarter right after this. All right, welcome back to Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas live on KDF Television. Alan Harwell with Patrick Johnstone. So glad you tuned in tonight. Moody has a 14-0 lead, and we are about to start the second quarter now. The Trojans have the ball. It's 2nd and 6 now from their own 22-yard line. And that's a catch. Was that Lindsey throwing the football that time? All the way down to about the 50-yard line.
Now, I believe that was Cullum, and Cullum is a dual-type threat. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball. He had over 300 yards of total offense last week. And then you get his arm with the running game that they have with him and 3 other running backs, and that makes it a dangerous team to try to defend.
All right. kind of deceiving of the eyes there. Looked like they were moving some guys around there. Looked like they were trying some trickery there, and it certainly worked. It's a big pickup, so they get the first down. So it's 1st and 10 now from the 49-yard line. And Cullum under center. Going to drop back, and he's going to roll right. Again, he can run. Ooh, man, he takes a big hit. That's a gain of about just 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah, like I said, the threat is always there if he decides to tuck it and run, and if he can get the feet moving, even throwing on the run, just kind of give the threat of rolling out and taking off, then it could really open up some room for him to work.
He's a big kid. He's hard to bring down, and but he took a big hit there. So a gain of 1. So mark it 2nd and 9 now, right at the 50-yard line, and Cullum again under center. And just right up the middle, a gain of about 5 yards for the Trojans. So that's going to set up 3rd and about 4.5 yards.
And again, there they put a man in motion. There was 3 options for Cullum to give the ball to there, and it's really tough to defend that when you don't know who's going to get the ball, and they pull out that kind of motion and trickery.
Wildcats are really suffering from the injury bug this week. They got a few starters out tonight. Here we go, 3rd and 5. And, man, fighting hard for the first down is DQ Lindsey, and he's got it.
Yeah, Lindsey just lowers his shoulder, runs through a defender, gets that extra yard, maybe 2, and that might have been the difference to getting them the first down.
Yeah, the Trojans are going to huddle. They're in no rush whatsoever. They can, they can come out and play the run game, and they can go spread on you if they need to. So let's see how they do out of the wing T here. And this time it is, man, that's a good fake as number 7, Darrell Asbell, takes it around the right side. He picks up a chunk of yardage. That's another Moody first down.
I got to tell you, I thought DQ Lindsey had the ball on that. They really sold that fake well. I swore that Asbell went away without the ball, and then I looked, and neither Lindsey nor Cullum had the ball, and of course there was Asbell running up the sideline.
Well, I got to admit, I hesitated as well. You've really got to concentrate watching where that football is, because they're just going to tuck it and go. All right, first down for the Trojans on the GP 22-yard line. And I believe that's DQ again with the ball. And we have a loose pigskin on. Do we? Do we have a loose ball, or is it just still churning?
Just a pile, just pushing the pile. And
okay.
Cullum kept the ball, and he got swallowed up, but they still push for 3 or 4 yards after contact.
Yeah, you're right. It was Cullum with the ball. He faked it to DQ Lindsey and then pulled it back out. And I mean, if it's hard for us to tell who's got the ball, it's got to be even more difficult for GP, because there's just a lot of trickery here. Clock winding, 8:35 to play here in the first half. 14-0 Moody. They have scored on their first 2 drives, and now they're faced with a 2nd and 3. And it's a handoff to Asbell. For sure it's Asbell this time, and he'll pick up another Moody first down. I tell you what, they're just unstoppable so far tonight.
Yeah, like I've been saying, when you've got so many guys that you can give the ball to, and when they add in the motion and the trickery, it's really tough to defend. And then Asbell just had a hole up the middle, and he gets the first down.
So it's 1st and goal now for the Trojans. And again, they're in no hurry whatsoever as the play clock is running. It's got plenty of time, 16 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, when you've got a 2-score lead and you're in the red zone, you'll take as much time as you want.
Cullum under center. And boy, I tell you what, they had everybody faked out there. Nathaniel Sada around the, actually that is.
Looks like it is Sada with
Yep, it was Sada with the score. I had to double check because there was a couple of fakes there. And yeah, that's
gonna get the ball.
That's Sada around the left side. You're right. We're watching the replay right here. So Sada is in.
And now it's going to be a 3-score lead for the Trojans. And the Wildcats have been moving the ball well, but they need to find the end zone to keep themselves in the game.
And Juan Pablo Rocha has been a busy young man tonight, kicking extra points. It is good. So the Moody Trojans are going to extend their lead now. So they've got 3 touchdowns by 3 different players now. You got DQ Lindsey, who scored the first one, and then Asbel scored the second one, and then you had the last score by Sada. So all 3 running backs have a score here in the first half.
And it's a great spoil of riches to be able to have that many guys who can run the ball efficiently, and they all have reached the end zone so far today.
And again, they're all juniors, so they're all coming back next year. So, I mean, this team is they're set for a while. I mean, Coach Mike Cantu is in a very good situation. And, you know, we talk, Patrick, a lot about the Moody defense. I mean, about the Moody offense, but I want to talk about the Moody defense, too. This is a team that a little overshadowed by their great run game, but they're very good. This is a team that plays really tough football. And so far, they're pitching a shutout tonight.
Yeah, the defense has held strong when they needed to, and that key interception that they made on the first drive really helped turn the tides.
Well, this is Brian Harris on the return for the GP Wildcats, and he is brought down to the 31-yard line. So it's 21-0 now in favor of the Moody Trojans. It's not like GP hasn't been able to move the football. They had a really good opening drive, but they turned the ball over. And they had a really good second drive, but they got inside the Moody 20-yard line, but had to turn the ball over on down. So let's see how they do now on their third possession of the football game.
And we were talking about the penalty as they got into the red zone, that might have helped stall them, and they were moving the ball well, and they moved back 5 yards, and then they ended up not scoring. So you got to think that might loom large on their minds coming into this drive.
I totally agree, and this is a young football team, too, for the Wildcats. So Gage Glidden brings them out, and he's got his big man in the backfield, Goldsby, and he's been a hard man to bring down, and there he goes again up the middle. Goldsby, man, that's a pickup of about 13 yards, and that's a first down. And you know, Patrick, I mean, he's getting it right up the gut, too.
Yeah, and it looks like he was wrapped up there around 6 or 7 yards into his run, but he kind of pushed the defenseman off of him, and then he got the first down.
Well, if it works, just keep drawing it until they can stop you. So now it's 1st and 10 for GP on their own 44-yard line. Again, off to another good start on a drive here. And it's Goldsby again. We talked about it, trying it up the middle, and this time he stopped after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, Goldsby's keeping those feet moving. When he stopped, he just keeps trying to drive, and there were a couple of holes that got swallowed up a little bit, and he kept the feet moving. He juked a little bit to get himself a little bit more room to run.
But, of course, when you're down 3 scores, eventually you're going to have to start airing it out a little bit. Let's see if they do that. This is maybe a good time to do that. But it's going to be Goldsby again on the run, and he's going to pick up about 4, and he's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first down. So it's going to be a big third down play here for the GP Wildcats, who trailed 21-0. 6:20 left to play here in the first, in a swiftly moving first half.
Well, like you said, if Goldsby can keep getting those yards, might as well keep feeding him, get the first down, and keep the ball moving.
And GP knows they will get the ball to start the second half. Oh, man, Goldsby is shut down that time. That's a big hit there by number 40 for the Moody Trojans, Layden Spencer.
Yeah, just nowhere to run. It looked like it was an option play, but regardless of who was getting that ball, it looked like they were going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
So the Wildcats find themselves in another situation here of having to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, this is a tough call to go for it on 4th down, but when you're down 3 scores, you got to force the issue and try to turn the tides.
They're going to need 5 yards, so let's see if they go to the passing game, and they will, as Gladdick is going to go deep. He's got a man wide open, and it's a great catch, and that is going to be a Gregory Portland touchdown. How do you like that? That's number 87, Connor Durrell.
Yeah, Durrell was just wide open. There was a little bit of safety help that came over, almost made the play, an interception or an incompletion, but Durrell was able to hold on to it and then get into the end zone to score, and now just a 2-score game.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the GP Wildcats. And, we kind of talked about being down 3. They might try to air it out a little bit. That's exactly what they did. And credit to them. They got the job done, so they closed the gap now to 21-6 as they attempt the extra point.
And that play definitely set up by being able to run the ball efficiently. You always have to watch for it, maybe not on 4th down, but whenever they have the ball, you got to watch for Goldsby, to run the ball, and then you open up the passing lane and allow them to kind of find a hole and air it out.
All right, so the GP Wildcats are on the board for the first time tonight. They've had, some good drives that just kind of got bogged down a couple of times, and this time they connect on the long pass play. So time-wise right now, we got 5:18 left to play. So the key now for GP, can they stop Moody's offense? So far they have not. Moody's 3 for 3 on possessions tonight on scoring touchdowns. If you're GP, you want to hold them here, get the ball back, and then they'll get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, with just 5 minutes left in the half, you've got to have a hold here. And maybe even if you can force a 3 and out or a quick drive, get a chance to score again before the half. And then if you get possession, this could be a whole new game in the second half.
And the kickoff is going to be taken at the 15. And, man, there's no room to run. So nice pursuit there by the GP Wildcats. But the key is, can they slow down, which they have not been able to so far, this tremendous Moody running game. And it's been a combination of all 3 of the running backs, because all 3 have found the end zone already in this football game. So let's see how they move the ball with 5:13 left to play here in the ball in the first half.
And for people that have been watching, they definitely have seen Moody. We've talked about the trick plays, but if you're just tuning in, and Moody's run game has really been helped by their trick plays and having so many guys that can run the ball efficiently to kind of switch it up and keep the defense on their toes. And they really haven't had to pass the ball much.
All right, we may already have a timeout here called. Interesting. Moody would call timeout. Okay, I want to remind everybody we got the Friday Night Fever. It is Friday night, by the way, and we got a whole lot of great games of highlights to show you tonight on the Fever tonight on Chris 6 Sports starting at 10:15. We, of course, will have highlights of this game. And then, of course, the Carolina Wildcats are at home tonight taking on Kerrville-Tivy. And we got the big Ray Miller rivalry, the big showdown at Buccaneer Stadium tonight. We'll have highlights of that game. Skidmore-Tynan's at London. Mathis is at home tonight playing their first game of the year, and Somerset's at TM. Jeff Dubroff have highlights of all those games. I'll have highlights of this game here. And the winner of this game will get the very prestigious Thomas J. Henry Friday Night Fever Game of the Week trophy. So we'll be also having a trophy presentation tonight. Let's see who winds up getting it. So here come the Trojans now on 1st and 10, and it's a pitch out. And there's nowhere to go for Darrell Asbell, who's shoved out of bounds.
And the Moody fans did not like that shove, but it looked like Asbell was going to the sideline, kind of pulled up, was jogging a little bit. He was just shoved out by the defender.
Didn't look like he gained any yardage at all on that play. So looks like it's going to be 2nd and 10. The clock is running again now at 4:52. Trojans have one timeout left at their disposal. This is probably their final drive of the first half. And some trickery here, but to no avail. And that GP defense all of a sudden is coming alive.
And this is a big 3rd down for the GP defense. You need to hold them here. Like I said earlier, get the ball back, maybe get a score before the half and turn the tides before the second.
Exactly. And again, they'll get the ball to start the second half. So they're trying to force Moody to punt for the first time tonight. But let's see. 3rd and about 9. And Cullum is going to throw the ball. He's got number 13. Oh, in and out of his hands, but the ball is picked off. It's an interception by number 28, Isaiah Chandler, with the football.
And that ball was in and out of the hands of Ryan Martinez. He had a step or two on his defender, too, so call him a little bit of an underthrow, which forced Martinez to come back for that ball and just couldn't hold on to it. And now a big tide turner for Gregory Portland. And now they're going to get the ball. There's 4 minutes left, and they're going to hope to score before half.
All right, that's exactly what the Wildcats needed. They forced the turnover, almost as good as a punt. So we'll see what happens. So GP gets the ball at their own 41-yard line. They got 4:01 to play here in the first half, and it's Goldsby this time. He picks up about 5. GP has all 3 timeouts, by the way, at their disposal. So they're actually pretty good situation right now.
Yeah, and if you can keep the ball moving with Goldsby, just go ahead and do it. And then when you need to take those timeouts, go ahead and take them and maybe just run some clock off so that the Trojans don't get a chance if this gets scored or if it's a turnover for more plays.
Yeah, this is Goldsby again up the gut. That's another Gregory Portland first down.
And Goldsby again slipping a tackle there, making a guy miss and getting the first down, getting some extra yards with his feet.
So they are going to mark the football now at the 46-yard line. 3:18, and the clock is running. Again, GP's got all 3 timeouts left. Trailing 21-7, but they got momentum on their side right now. Gage Gleinig, and this is going to be a handoff to Goldsby, and Goldsby around the left side maybe gets 3 yards on the play. So that's going to force a second and about 7. GP doesn't appear to be in a really big hurry. 2:45 left, clock running.
And on that play, it looked like Goldsby wanted to get to the outside, but the hole kind of developed more in the guard, in between the guard and the tackle position. So he kind of had to cut in, and the Moody defense was there for him.
All right, let's see what the Wildcats do here on 2nd and 7. Gliding back to pass. Got protection across the middle. That's Brian Harris on the catch. Brian down to the 17-yard line. That's a huge pickup, and it's a first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily with 2:22 to play here in the second quarter.
And Harris found a little bit of a hole there in between the secondary and was wide open. An easy pass for Gleinig.
Yeah, it was a nice catch there. This time it's going to be Goldsby up the middle. And look at him go. He is going to get all the way down inside to about the 5, maybe the 4. So no reason to hurry anymore. Plenty of time. 2:07 left to play here. And all of a sudden, things have turned to GP's favor here. Being down 21-0, they come back to score on a long pass play. Then they force the turnover. And now they have driven the ball all the way down to about the 6-yard line.
And I sound like a broken record, but Goldsby again, he shed a tackle on a big run.
It is 1st and goal, and it's Goldsby this time up the middle. It gets about 2, down to about the 4. And again, no reason to be in any hurry. There's 1:36 to play. You've got all 3 timeouts, and the GP Wildcats are going to go ahead and use their first timeout right now. And I believe we have a player down, too, I believe. Let's see who that is. That is looks like it's a Moody Trojan. Anyway, we're going to take a brief injury timeout. It's 21-7 in favor of in favor of the Moody Trojans. 1:30 to play. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas live high school football from Cabinets Field here on KDF TV. We've got a minute 35 to play here in the first half. The Trojans lead 21-7, but things are getting interesting now because you've got the GP Wildcats inside the 5-yard line. It's second and goal now at the 4.
And it looks like Gleinig is flanked by his 2 running backs, by Goldsby and number 25, Dalvin Batts.
All right, I saw them practice this just the other day, and let's see what they're going to do here. It's a handoff, and it's a Gregory Portland touchdown. And I believe that time it was Batts getting in the end zone this time for the GP Wildcats.
Yeah, that was the sophomore getting the carry. He and Goldsby were in the backfield with Gleinig, and they both kind of came across for the ball. And when we talk about it with Moody, but when you have multiple guys that can run the ball well, it's going to cause problems for the defense, and the sophomore got into the end zone.
So Dalvin Batts finds the end zone, and here's the extra point attempt, and it is good. We got us a football game here at Cavanis Field. All of a sudden now, after being up 21-zip, it's now 21-14 in favor of the Trojans. A minute 30 to play. You see the scoreboard right there. So all of a sudden now, Moody may be on a mission here on their final possession of this first half to try to answer the 2 touchdowns from Gregory Portland. So
they have a minute and a half, but they only have 1 timeout. They have had to take 2 timeouts already, so they're going to have to try to move the ball quickly, maybe go for more of a passing game, and we'll see how that works out for them.
All right, again, GP will get the ball to start the second half, so that's going to be big for them. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have the band from Moody. They will be performing from the stands. Gregory Portland's band, of course, is not here this evening due to the fact that whenever a CCISD team plays a non-CCISD team, it's only the CCISD band, the drill team, and cheerleaders who attend the ball game. All right, so I got to try any trickery here on this kickoff. You don't think, Patrick, by GP?
That would be an interesting play, but I think you got to just play it straight, hope your defense holds, and that's exactly what they're going to do, kick it off deep.
And we're going to get a really good run back. That's Nathaniel Sada. Remember, he had 2 of these last week for touchdowns. Penalty flags all over the place. This is going to come back.
Yeah, it looks like 3 penalty flags came out on that one.
Well, that's a guy you don't want to see. If you're the opposition, that's a guy you don't want to see coming at you because he's so shifty. He's very fast, very quick.
Yeah, and if you miss a tackle, that could really just be the break that the opposing team needs, and all it takes is just 1 slip tackle, and then Sada can really make it pay.
All right, this is actually against the GP Wildcats, so this is going to be in favor of Moody. So let's see what Moody does here. They're going to get excellent field position, and they've got a minute 23 to play, 1 timeout. Man, they move the ball all the way down to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and that's not what you want as a Wildcats fan, because they just had a great drive. They made it a 1-score game, and now Moody has a chance to take another score.
And Jakota Cullum is going to go deep on this play across the middle. Oh, incomplete, intended for Nathaniel Sada. He had to go up high to try to grab that football. Couldn't get it done. So it'll now be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a high throw from Cullum, and hard for Sada to come down with it. And even if he did, it would have been tough to hold on because he got hit immediately.
All right, still plenty of time. A minute 18, 1 timeout. You're on the GP 44-yard line. Let's see if they try to, I'm sure they'll try to throw the ball again here. And Cullum throws, and in and out of the hands. So that'll stop the clock.
That's a tough play, and now you're going to have to run the ball because you want to at least choose some clock or at least force GP to take a timeout so that you can keep the ball rolling. And because now there's a minute 15 left. If the Wildcats defense holds right now, they can get another chance at scoring the ball.
Yeah, they got at least a couple of timeouts in their pocket, so a lot can still happen here in this great game of Texas high school football. All right, so 3rd now and 10 for the Trojans. And Cullum is going to roll right. He's going to take off, and he's going to run out of bounds. He's going to be about 5 yards short. So I imagine Moody is going to go for it here.
Well, it looks like a flag on the play. It might have been a block in the back.
Let's see. I think you're right. Let's see what the call is officially. Trojans aren't too happy about it. You see the clock there, a minute 15 to play. And here comes the call. All right, Patrick, you were correct. You called it. It's a blocking in the back. It's a 10-yard penalty. So they're going to have to replay third down now.
Yeah, that's tough. If the Trojans wanted to go for it on fourth down, they could have. They only had 4, maybe 5 yards to go, and now it's a long third down. If they don't convert, they're definitely going to have to punt it away.
Well, they're going to need 15 yards if they want to get that first down. And look at the defense. That's a big, big, big sack all the way back to the 31-yard line. If I'm GP, I want to call timeout here. There's only a minute 12. Yeah, they are going to call timeout with a minute. Well, the clock is still rolling. It should have stopped about 5 seconds ago, but they may have to add some time to the clock.
Yeah, that was devastating for Moody to have the penalty, call back the yardage, and then to have a huge sack. Great play for the GP defense, and now Moody's going to have to punt it away with about a minute and 10 seconds maybe, and then GP is going to have 2 timeouts plus whatever yardage to be able to go down and maybe score and tie the game up before halftime.
All right, they're going to put some time back on the clock. It currently shows 53, but they're going to put a minute 10 now on the clock. So fourth down, they're going to have to punt the ball away. GP is going to get good field position. They're going to have 2 timeouts to work with. Man, talk about a change in momentum in this football game. It looked like Moody had this game in hand at 21-0. All of a sudden now, GP's come back. They've scored 2 touchdowns. It's 21-14.
And the Trojans defense is going to have a stand here, because if they let up a score and have it tied at halftime, that's going to put a lot of momentum on the Wildcat side.
That is the quarterback, Cullum, who's going to attempt to punt the ball away. And it's a good kick. And Harris waved for a fair catch. At least I saw him put his hand up in the air.
Yeah, but it looks like that hit one of his players coming down. It looked like number 2, James Durham. He was blocking, and it hit him in the leg, so he had to get that, or else it could have been Moody's ball.
Yeah, that's a heads-up play there by Harris. So 25-yard lines. They're 75 yards away from the end zone. They've got a minute 1 to play. So let's see how they play this.
Yeah, you got to air the ball out. There's only 61 seconds to get over 70 yards. They're going to have to let it fly here.
All right, so Gage Gleining has got the ball. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's going to go across the middle, and that's, in and out of the hands of Isaiah Chandler. Chandler may have just looked away for a brief moment because he had a couple of Trojans barreling down on him.
Yeah, it looks like he just turned his head up a little bit upfield to see where the defense was at and took his eye off the ball and then dropped it. You got to catch the ball before you can make the run.
57 seconds left to play now. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Gleining, and this is Goldsby up the middle, and he's going to get about 8 yards on the play, so it's going to be third down as GP's going to have to hurry it up here.
No timeout, so it looks like they might want to run the rest of the clock out and just go to halftime only down 1 score.
Well, let's see what happens here. There's Goldsby up the middle again. He's got a first down. Well, the scoreboard showed the Wildcats still had some timeouts, but it may not be accurate then.
I think they should have 2 right now. That looks like they just used another one, so they'd be down to 1.
Okay, because it showed 3, but I was pretty sure that GP had already used one of their timeouts earlier in the football game. So 28 seconds left to play.
It looks like Goldsby was down on that play, shaking up a little bit. He is walking off, but he's got a little bit of a limp to it.
Yeah, you don't want to see that if you're a Wildcat fan, but they're probably going to throw the ball anyway here. So let's see what happens. Gage Gleining, and we got a timeout call by the Moody Trojans. Probably a good call. I believe that's Moody's final timeout of the first half. So a lot of strategy here to think about. So it's first down.
Yeah, you got to figure they're going to be letting the ball fly. They just have the 1 timeout, which if they get down into the red zone, you'd want to use that timeout to set up a field goal if you can. So don't want to be running the ball. So let it fly, and if I'm the Trojans, that's what I'm anticipating on defense.
I'm not sure what the range of their kicker is. I would think if you get it down to about the 20, 25-yard line, you certainly have a chance of kicking a field goal here. Dalvin Batts in the backfield now for Goldsby, as you saw Goldsby go off a play ago. A little shaken up. So first down and 10. 24 seconds left to play. Probably get at least maybe 2 plays in, maybe 3. Gleinig is back, looking, throwing across the middle. Got a man. It's a nice catch. That's number 17, Conrad Horst, with the catch. The clock stops while they move the chains. 19 seconds to play. They may just try to, let's see what GP does here. They're going to go ahead and run a play, and it's Gleinig back, looking. Yeah, he's got all day. And there's just nobody nobody there, and that's an interception by number 13, Ryan Martinez. Just nobody in the area to catch that football.
Yeah, that was a tough throw for Gleinig. It looked like he had a receiver there, but it was about 10 yards past where his receiver was, and the only person there was Martinez.
All right, so the Trojans are going to get the ball back. I'm sure they'll take a knee, and we'll head to the locker room. There's only 3 seconds to play. This game has gotten very, very interesting now. 21-14, and again, GP will get the ball to start the second half.
GP's calling a timeout here, which is interesting, which is 3 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the benefit is here. Well, we're going to keep an eye on GP's great running back, Colleen Goldsby, who went out with an injury. We'll see if he's back on the field when they start the second half. I mean, he did walk off on his own power, but you're right. He was favoring, I believe, his right ankle, looked like, maybe?
I couldn't tell. It looked like he was just limping just a little bit. Didn't look too bad, but we will definitely keep an eye on that and see if he comes out and is taking snaps in the second half.
Yeah, this has turned out to be a very good football game. Again, this is the district opener for both teams. And, again, you got 9-team district. You only make 4 teams make the playoffs. And we were doing the math with Coach Rick Rhodes of GP of the day. Says that three losses may knock you out. I think you can only afford 2 losses and be one of those 4 teams. So you certainly don't want to get that first loss on opening night.
And that's a very small margin of error, and especially if you get the loss here, that leaves just one possible loss for the rest of the season, and you don't want to be in that sort of a situation so early in the year.
Well, they're going to air it out. Why not on the last play of the first half, and Cullum is going to throw it deep, and they're going to call pass interference. Looked like the receiver fell down. There were 3 defenders, so they're going to get one more play.
That's a huge, huge penalty. That was a long throw by Cullum, and that might have been Moody's only game plan there, was just throw it up and hope we get a pass interference so we get an untimed down.
It's only a 15-yard penalty, so it's not going to do too much damage. And, of course, you can't finish on a defensive penalty, so you know, if I'm Moody, why not try it again, right?
Yeah, the Wildcats are lucky this isn't the NFL and that's not a spot foul, because they would have been close to the red zone with that penalty.
So let's see what Chakota Cullum does here on what will probably be the last play of the first half. And he is in trouble, and he's going to throw it out. And Darrell Asbury cannot get it. Asbell cannot get it. And that's going to wrap up the first half, a very well-played first half. We had 5 touchdowns scored, so the Trojans lead 21-14. You're watching Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas, and it's a good one here from Cavness Field. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we will have the Moody Band and Drill Team, and we appreciate you watching right here on KDF TV. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas live from Cabinets Field. Alan Harwell with Patrick Johnstone joining you tonight here on what's turned out to be a very well-played football game. The Moody Trojans lead 21-14, and the Wildcats are about to get the ball to start here in the second half. And Patrick, what are your takeaways from this first half?
So I said at the start of the game we're going to have to take a look at these rushing games, and that's exactly what we've seen. There have been a couple of big passing plays, but mostly it's been the ground game for both teams that have been moving the ball. And we've talked about the three guys in the backfield for the Trojans. And then you have Golson on the Wildcat side, and they've been moving the ball well and creating plays, and the Wildcats have a lot of momentum coming into the second half after being down 3 scores, and now it's just a 1-score game. All
right, it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it all develops. And again, Moody jumped out to a 21-0 lead, and GP came back with 2 unanswered touchdowns. So we shall see what happens here in the final 24 minutes of play. Again, this is the district opener for both teams, so it's a big one. You never want to lose your first game, so let's see how this game turns out. So it's going to be fun to watch. We're glad you tuned in here on KDF TV, live high school football. And we want to thank Thomas J. Henry as our game sponsor tonight. This is also the Friday Night Fever game of the week. And coming up on the Friday Night Fever, coming up at 10:15, highlights of this game, plus we'll have the trophy presentation to the winning ball club. So, and right now, it's hard to pick a winner because it's a really tight ball game. And let's see how Moody responds here in the second half. Well, they got off to a terrific start and then got into a little bit of trouble there in the second quarter when GP began to seize the momentum. But let's see how it develops here in the third chapter. So here we go. Glad you guys have tuned in to watch tonight. Got us a really good ball game. All right, so the Trojans now kicking off to start the second half. And here comes the return, and it's going to be a good one. 35-40, and going to get to about the 47-yard line. Isaiah Chandler on the kickoff return. So, Patrick, GP is going to get excellent starting field position.
Man, that was another trick play on the kick return. The Wildcats have been using these a lot. Sometimes they give the ball to the other return man. Sometimes they keep it, and we're going to keep an eye on the backfield right now, and it looks like Goldsby is out there in the backfield. He did limp off the field at the end of the second half, but he looks like he's ready to get going.
Colleen Goldsby, I think he favoring that right ankle earlier, but I think he looks to be ready to go, and so are the Wildcats. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line, and it's time it's a keeper. And look at Gage gliding. He is going to score down the right sideline. How do you like that? Wow. GP comes out, but I think we got a flag on the play.
Yeah, there's a flag.
Wow.
You hate to see that, and that's what happens when you have Goldsby on the field. You fake the handoff to him and it opens it up, but we'll see if this flag brings it back.
Wow, Gage gliding a 59-yard touchdown run is going to get called back.
That's tough.
Holding against the Wildcats. Wow, well.
Yeah, he did have a lot of room to work. He even had a receiver in front of him for a block, but there was no one for that receiver to block, and that's because there was a holding on the play, and that gets called back, and that's a huge momentum kill.
Man, it really is. So that'll move the ball back.
But like I was saying, when you have Goldsby on the field, I even thought they were giving him the ball there because they just keep feeding him, and they just pull the read option out, and then Kleinig takes it himself, and there's a big hole because everyone's worried about Goldsby in the backfield.
So GP will start again now. First and long. And Kleinig this time will throw the ball across the middle. It's Brian Harris, wide open. Boy, he makes a great catch, and he's going to take it all the way. And after the penalty, GP comes right back. They say, take that. No flags this time.
There you go, another big play, and that's a huge, you had the momentum, you lose it on the holding, and then very next play you get it back, and Kleinig keeps the touchdown. This time it's just through the air, and Harris now gets the touchdown onto his stat sheet.
All right, GP now an extra point away from tying this game. What a football game this is turning out to be at Cavanis Field.
This is everything I could have hoped for when I came down to Texas
Buddy, this
Texas
is
high school football.
They're all like this. Every Texas high school football game is like this. All right, it is good. And all of a sudden, we got us a 21-21 tie. It takes Gregory Portland 28 seconds to tie this football game. Wow. All right, you're watching Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas. Back with more right after this. Welcome back to Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas. We got us a great ball game here. It's 21-21 as the Wildcats needed just 28 seconds to score to tie the game. And here they are kicking off to the Moody Trojans. Let's see how the Trojans respond. And they're going to get a fairly decent kickoff return here, down to about the 27-yard line. So Moody Trojans certainly have the firepower to move it down the field, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, the Trojans offense has not had much trouble moving the ball, especially on the ground when you've got Nathaniel Sada, you've got DQ Lindsay, and you've got Daryl Asbell. And then, of course, you've got Dakota Cullum behind the center, and he can throw it, he can run it. So you always have to be worried about who's going to get the ball, and they run a lot of trick plays. So they're going to have to move the ball well to kind of stave off this Wildcats team.
All right, here we go for the Trojans. 1st and 10 now from their own 27-yard line. And it's a handoff, but hardly any gain. I don't think they got any yardage on that run. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. In case you just joined us, Moody came out and scored the game's first 21 points. And since then, Gregory Portland has come back and scored 21 unanswered points. So we are deadlocked at 21 all. So let's see how this develops. Got a flag on the play.
That's an interesting call there. They called offsides on the defense. It did look to me like a Moody player on the offensive line jumped, which would have caused the Wildcats defenseman to jump. But that gives 5 more yards for a play that went nowhere.
All right, so it'll be now 1st and 5. And Dakota Cullum under center. And it's a handoff, and that's a good run by Nathaniel Sada. And we saw a lot of that in the first half. And the Sada now picks up the first down. That's what Moody needed. They needed a first down to kind of get things going again.
Yeah, when they can get across midfield and they can kind of give the Wildcat defense a little bit of pressure. That's going to help them change the momentum, which the Wildcats have most of the momentum coming out into the second half.
Yeah, that gets them back into a little bit of a rhythm that they're used to. And they bring it up to the line of scrimmage. 10 seconds left on the play clock. 1st and 10 now. And this time, it is Darrell Asbell. And Asbell has a huge pickup here, and that's another Moody first down. Well, this is exactly the way they did it in the first quarter. They were just relentless on running that football.
And you see the Wildcat defense is really stacking the box on these plays, but Moody keeps moving the ball, moving players around pre-snap, during snap, and kind of doing some trickery. You don't know exactly who's going to get the ball at any point because you have so many guys that can run the ball. And then with the play action and all that kind of stuff, you're not 100% sure of who's getting the ball during the play, and you really have to keep an eye on all those guys.
9:25 to play here in the third quarter. We're deadlocked at 21 all. Moody with the ball, 1st and 10. This is Sada around the left side. He's got some running room, 40, 35, 30, 25-yard line. And I think they're actually going to rule him out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So another first down for Moody.
And in that case, it looked like the GP defense made the right read, but Sada just got to the outside and beat guys down the line.
Now this is what Moody does. They run the ball effectively, and they're doing it here. They're back in the rhythm. This is the way they looked early in the ball game. All right, looks like we're going to have an injury timeout. Looks like we got number 7 on a knee for the Wildcats. Kingsley Havens, as they're taking a look at him. Going to remind everybody, we will have highlights of this game and many more on the Friday Night Fever coming up in about an hour from now. Among the highlights, we'll have Kerrville, Tivy, and Cal Allen, Ray Miller, Skidmore, Tyne in London, Palacios up at Mathis, and Somerset at Toloso Midway. Jeff will have highlights of those games. I'll have the Moody highlights, and we'll also have the presentation to the winner of this game, the Thomas J. Henry Friday Night Fever Game of the Week award winner. And again, we do have an injury timeout here at Cabanis, and it is number 7, Havens, and it looks like he's going to be able to walk off the field under his own power. GP came out and scored on their opening drive to start the game. Moody has now has the ball for the first time tonight in the second half, and they're moving it down the field. They've picked up several first downs. And right now they're facing a 1st and 10 on the Gregory Portland 25-yard line. So they are looking to regain the lead after being up early 21-0.
And this is the exact kind of drive the Trojans needed coming in after the early and quick score by the Wildcats to start the half. Kind of eat some clock, slow the game down a little bit to give your defense a chance to rest and to kind of take the wind out of the sails of the Wildcats a little bit.
Well, Moody trying to seize the momentum back here. Here we go. Dakota Cullum under center for the Moody Trojans. And it's a handoff to number 4, DQ Lindsay. Gets a few yards up the middle. I have learned, Patrick, to keep an eye on that football, because just when you think a certain individual has the ball, it's his teammate that has the ball.
Yeah, it's tough to try to follow the ball when Moody's got it because you never know who's going to get it, and Cullum's typically got the ball in the area of 2 or 3 different guys on the play.
2nd and 6 this time. It's Darrell Asbell, and he's going to pick up about 3 more. He'll be shy of a first down. So the Trojans are going to face a 3rd and short, probably needing about a full yard here. So they are back to running the clock. 7:47 left here in the third quarter. Game tied 21 all.
And if you're the Trojans, you're completely content with the way the game plan is working right now. You get 3 to 4 yards every time you run the ball. You're just going to keep getting those first downs and keep running clock.
Only 5 seconds left on the play clock. And the Trojans are going to pick up the first down, I do believe. DQ Lindsay on the carry. And it is a first down, so they'll move the chains. So they'll mark the ball at about the 13-yard line.
And again, another first down, and Trojans, they haven't really had any trouble moving the ball on the ground this drive.
Man, they can churn out the yardage, can't they? On the ground.
Well, they have
5
plenty of
here,
guys who can run.
5 there. And then this time, it is Darrell Asbell, and he is going to score. He's going to find the end zone. They could not bring him down, and the Moody Trojans answer. And they take the go-ahead lead here, 27-21 with 6:51 to play in the third chapter.
Asbell was stopped at one point. He was in a crowd, but he kind of just shook out of the grasp of a defender and made his way into the end zone. That's a great run by Asbell.
Yeah, we saw the instant replay. He had a little 360 turn there. Very, very well done. So John Pablo Rocha in now to try the extra point. And it is good. So Moody answers Gregory Portland's touchdown with a score of their own. So they regain the lead, 28-21, 6:51 to play here in the third quarter. You're watching Thomas J. Henry, Game Night, South Texas. Welcome back to Cavernous Field. Thomas J. Henry, Game Night, South Texas. We got a heck of a football game. You see the scoreboard there. Shows the Trojans up 28-21. They just regained the lead now. So both teams have had the ball in the first half one time. Both teams have scored touchdowns.
Yeah, and the running game is just pushing for Moody, but Wildcats for GP, they took one score that got called back and then took another score in 2 consecutive plays to start the half, so they even haven't had much possession here.
This is Brian Harris on the return. He'll take it up to about the 37, 38-yard line. So the GP Wildcats will get excellent field position here to start their drive here. So their goal now is to answer Moody's touchdown if they can, to try to tie the game back up.
And look for the ball to get into the hands of Colleen Goldsby. He's been running the ball well, and he's also a threat on the play action if they want to air the ball out too.
Both teams have really settled in now. Both teams are playing excellent football. 6:44 to play here in the third quarter. Gage Gleinig at the quarterback, and we got the ball on the ground. And it's recovered by Gleinig.
Yeah, it was a low snap. It looks like it didn't get off the ground, and hard play for Gleinig to make. He just fell on it so he doesn't force an issue. That's
a big loss of at least, let's see, 5, 7, 8, 9 yards. So it's second and 19 now. And then Gleinig is going to throw it out, and it's complete, but nowhere to go. And the receiver is going to be down at about the 32-yard line. That's number 28, Isaiah Chandler. He tried to wiggle out of some would-be tacklers, but just couldn't get away.
Interesting play call to go for a screen pass there when you've got such a long field ahead of you to get a first down, because now it's 3rd and 16, and you're going to have to air the ball out. You really only got 2 or 3 yards on that pass.
And the Wildcats have had success tonight throwing the ball. So let's see. They've had success across the middle. So let's see where Gage Gleinig is going to throw this football. 3 receivers out left. He's back. He's got good protection. And we talked about going across the middle. And he had a receiver, number 23, Noah Garcia, but they just could not connect.
Yeah, it's a tough drop there. Garcia was just about where the sticks are to get the first down. When that ball hit his hands, he may have been able to get a couple more yards to definitely get the first down, but now the Wildcats have to punt and then give the ball back to the Trojans, and they had no trouble moving the ball on their last drive, so you're going to have to get a stop here.
All right, 5:26 to play. The clock is stopped, and GP will punt the ball now. They're going to need a good kick here. High snap, but he's able to get the kick off, and it's a good kick. And this ball will hit, and it will get originally a GP roll, then a Moody roll, and the ball will be down at the 34-yard line. You're watching Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas live on KDF. Moody leads 28-21, 5:15 to play here in the third quarter. Back with more right after this. All right, welcome back to Game Night South Texas. Moody with the football now. And that is the quarterback, Dakota Cullum, with a nice run here to start this drive.
Looks like it's going to be a block in the back call.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're going to bring this one back. Seen a lot of penalties here in the second half.
That was another play, though, where you had the trickery and you weren't sure who was going to have it, and Cullum actually kept it himself. And although there was a holding play, he did have about a 6 or 7 yard gain.
All right, so that'll push the ball back to the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15. 4:48 left here in the third quarter. And looks like we're going to have a timeout called by the Moody Trojans. And we'll take a timeout with them. 4:39 to play here in the third quarter. It's Moody 28 and GP 21. Welcome back to Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas. We're in the third quarter right now. Moody leads 28-21. They have the ball. It's 1st and 15 after a blocking in the back penalty.
I'm interested why Moody would take that timeout. It looks like they're on the side and they just let the clock run down on the play call, but they might need that timeout later in the game.
All right, they're going back to the run game, and that is Nathaniel Sada. And he picked up about 4. So that'll set up second and about 11 right now. Again, they're in no hurry. They've got a 7-point lead right now. So they want to run as much clock as they can, keep the ball away from the Wildcats. Again, this is the district opener for both teams, so it's a big one.
Yeah, definitely try to chew as much clock as you have. You've got the lead, so might as well, and you can keep running the ball if they're doing it efficiently.
All right, this time it's number 7, Darrell Asbell. And, boy, that's a great, great tackle by the GP Wildcats.
Looks like that was Chase Felt, the junior defensive back, getting behind the line of scrimmage to make that tackle for a loss.
Man, that's a huge play. They lost a couple of yards there, so that's going to force 3rd and long. That's exactly what GP needed if they want to get this football back. And let's see if Moody's going to go to the passing game here. They're going to probably have to if they want to get a first down. And looks like they are, because Dakota Cullum is going to come out in the shotgun. And actually, that was John Michael Ortega that threw that football that time. And that is a touchdown to Nathaniel Sada.
And that was another quick little pass, and Sada got a hole, and he's a quick kid, so if you miss a tackle, forget about it.
John Michael Ortega came in to play quarterback on that play, and he threw it right. He threw a strike to Nathaniel Sada, who takes it the distance. So how do you like that? That's the throwing quarterback that comes in and makes the big play. And the Trojans have come up with maybe their biggest play of the game so far. And Arocha on to try the extra point, and it is good. So Moody is now up 2 scores, 35-21, with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Back with more right after this. Welcome back to Cabinets Field. So John Michael Ortega, just a sophomore, comes in, and he connects with Nathaniel Sada. And Sada, I tell you what, he's got a lot of speed. He's hard to bring down. You just can't catch him. And the Trojans answer on third and long. And so they've come back. After the game was actually tied at 21, they've come back to score 2 consecutive touchdowns to take a 35-21 lead. There's 3:11 to play here in the third, and the Trojans are going to kick it off here. And let's see what kind of trickery we got here. And that's number 28, Isaiah Chandler, who hangs on to the football. And once again, Patrick, they're going to get excellent field position.
Yeah, that trickery seems to really be working for them. They can get extra yardage by kind of confusing the gunners out there, and if they don't know exactly who has the ball, that kind of makes them pull up a little bit, and Chandler was able to get a nice return there.
Yeah, it certainly makes you think, because they are doing a lot of trickery out there on the kickoff return. So let's see, Patrick, how Gregory Portland responds. They're now down 2 scores. Plenty of time, 3:02 to play here in the third quarter. Gage Gleinig at quarterback. He's played a really good game. And this time, he hands it off to his big man, number 33. That's Colleen Goldsby, who's had a big night this evening.
Yeah, and we've been talking about how good of a night he's been having, but let's give a shout-out to the Gregory Portland offensive line, too, especially on that carry. Goldsby had no contested defenders there for the first 5 yards of that run, and it's easy to get a lot of yards when you're getting that much room.
All right, so it's 2nd and 4 now for the GP Wildcats from their own 47-yard line, and we're going to have maybe a penalty called here against the Moody Trojans. Let's see if he was drawn or not.
I didn't see any movement on offense.
I didn't either.
And the Moody fans were not happy about that call because it looked like the defender did get back on signs before the ball was snapped.
Well, they're gonna talk about it here, the officials. And we'll get the official call here at any moment.
And GP being down 2 scores, we have seen this already. They were down 3 scores early, so if they can continue to push the ball up the field and keep this game close, they are not out of it, even being down 2 scores in the third quarter late.
All right, waiting on the call here. Well,
looks like a no call.
Yeah, I guess they picked up the flag, so it's still 2nd down at about 3. And this is Goldsby, and he's going to pick up a first down. And he's going to get all the way inside the 45-yard line. So GP keeps moving that football.
Goldsby's very shifty with the ball. It looks like he was even running sideways at one point. Just kind of find a hole, get his body through it, and keep going.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats on the 46-yard line. Down 2 scores, 35-21. Gage gliding. And that ball is tipped, knocked back, and it's a good play. It looked like that may have been number 50.
Yep, Skylar Marquez.
Yeah.
Gets up, gets in his face, and gets his hand on the ball.
So that was a good play there by Mr. Marquez. GP Wildcats looking to try to get within 1 score on this drive. They need something to happen here. There's a minute 57 to play here. And this is Goldsby again. Boy, look at him. Boy, he a little shifty runner there. He looked like he jumped maybe over one would-be tackler.
Yeah, looks like he got over. Someone was on the ground. Just doesn't matter. Get over him and keep it moving.
For a big guy, he's got some moves, and that's why he's their #1 running back. Just a little bit short of a first down. It's about 3rd and a long 1.5. I imagine number 33 will get the carry again, and he does, and he's going to pick up the first down and more, and he'll get it all the way down to the Moody 30-yard line. So mission accomplished on that play for GP. So that'll move the sticks again. And you see the clock, minute 21 and running.
You know, I wish we had the stat department to figure out how many yards after contact and how many broken tackles that he has today, because he has been making guys miss all night.
He's done a good job of it, that's for sure. 1st and 10 now. And they're going to go to the passing game. And did he hold on? No. It looked like number 17, Conrad Horst, couldn't quite haul it in.
There have been a couple of drops for GP today, and that's tough when you've got the receivers and you hit them and they can't hold on. It looked like he was kind of turning upfield before he had his reception in his hands.
All right, 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats. Cannot settle for field goals at this stage of the game, and this is Goldsby again. No, actually, it's a quarterback keeper. That's a nice fake by Gage Gleinig, and he'll take it all the way inside the 20-yard line.
Looks like that was a read option, and it was the correct read for Gleinig. Goldsby may have gotten a few yards, but he definitely would have been swallowed up, and Gleinig decided, I'm going to keep it myself, and he gets the first down.
All right, so they get it down to the Moody 17-yard line. They got a nice drive going here. And Gleinig this time will hand off to Goldsby, and he'll trip his way to about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Clock is winding down. That may have been the last play of the 3rd chapter. It's 26 seconds. We'll see. There's actually 28 seconds on the play clock. So the game clock can actually come to an end before the play clock does, but it looks like they are going to try to get in maybe one last play here. And it's a sack, it's a fumble, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Moody Trojans. That is number 32, Sammy Garza. That play just didn't look good from the very beginning, did it?
Yeah, that was a good call by the Trojans defense. They were on Gleinig immediately. He faked the handoff, and he turned around and immediately was hit from behind, and the ball came loose.
All right, so the Moody Trojans come up with a huge, huge turnover. And that's what good teams do. They force turnovers, and that's what Moody did right there. So now the defense turns it over to the offense, and the offense has looked really stellar in their last 2 possessions. So let's see what they do here. And you know they're going to run that football. They're going to run it with authority. That's DQ Lindsay. You know, they get 4 or 5 yards every pop, and that'll get you a lot of first downs. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Moody has taken control now. They lead Gregory Portland 35-21. You're watching Thomas J. Henry, Game Night South Texas, back with the start of the 4th quarter right after this. Welcome back to Thomas J. Henry Game Night South Texas. This is the first play of the fourth quarter. The Moody Trojans have got the ball, and it's a short run.
You know, Alan, John Michael Ortega was again in the backfield taking that snap, so you got to wonder if something's up with Dakota Cullum.
Well, you're right. He's in there right now. John Michael Ortega, just a sophomore. And I do not see. Yeah, I do see Dakota Cullum. He's sitting on the bench right now. It looks okay. Just a change in quarterback here. And this time it's a handoff. Well, that's some tough running there by number 4, D.Q. Lindsay. And that is so hard to stop. That's another first down for the Moody Trojans. And, boy, they could just do this all night long.
Yeah, if they were given the opportunity, it only takes a few yards each play to keep the chains moving to get that first down, and they've really been running the ball well, getting 3, 4, 5 yards every time they give the ball to any of their running backs. So might as well keep going. You've got the lead. You've got the clock in your favor, so go ahead and do it.
All right, so John Michael Ortega under center. He's calling out the signals, and he hands it off to number 7, Daryl Asbell. And, yeah, you're going to get a face mask, I believe, on this call. Running right at you on this side of the field. And here's the call. Well, GP certainly couldn't afford a big 15-yard penalty, but when you do a face mask, that's what happens, and that'll move the chains once again.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want. They had a stop for maybe a yard, even less, and you can't grab the face mask like that. That's a killer, and even possibly a backbreaker if Moody can go ahead and score this football.
Well, they've got first down now at the Gregory Portland 44-yard line. And we got the ball on the carpet. It's recovered, though, by Nathaniel Sada. Well, that ball was going in and out of various hands on that particular handoff. And fortunately, if you're a Moody Trojan fan, you hold on to the football, but they're going to lose about 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a misconnection on the handoff, and that could be expected when you have your backup quarterback in there. Maybe doesn't get as many reps with the first team.
So it's now 2nd and 14. Clock is still running. 9:45 left to play in the game. And a simple handoff up the middle and no gain whatsoever. So now Moody is going to be faced with a 3rd and long. And will we see the arm of John Michael Ortega again? The last time we saw it, he threw a long touchdown pass to Nathaniel Sada. 35-21 Moody here in the 4th. Opening night of 15-5A Division I district play. So, yeah, I would assume that they're going to throw the ball here, and it's Ortega who's going to toss it out to Sada, and Sada is going to be short of a first down. He gets down to about the 39. I imagine it is 4-down territory, so I imagine the Trojans will try to convert on 4th down now.
And another short pass for Ortega, and Sada fell about 4 yards on that. He had his momentum moving forward and gained the extra yards, so that definitely helps them on 4th down. But, yeah, being in the Wildcats territory, you're not really going to want to punt it here, so might as well go for it.
And that's exactly what they're going to do, Patrick. So John Michael Ortega in at quarterback. And, you know, there may be something wrong with Dakota Cullum. He's sitting on the bench with the trainer. Well, it's a quick kick. It's not a bad call because they got an excellent roll out of this all the way down to about the 6-yard line. So that's going to pin the Wildcats deep in their own territory. So, yeah, I see Dakota Cullum. He's sitting on the sidelines. He's the only person on the bench right now. There is a trainer maybe looking at his hand, maybe. Can't quite tell from this angle.
Yeah, it's tough to tell from over here, but definitely he's getting looked at.
Yeah.
When you have a 2-score lead, maybe you want to keep your backup in just to make sure Cullum stays safe, and if he can come back in, maybe bring him back if it gets a little closer.
Well, it's nice to know that you got a young man that can come off the bench and lead your ball club, and that's what they have in number 12, John Michael Ortega. So here come the Wildcats now, 1st down and 10, deep in their own territory. And they're going to go to the air, and it's incomplete.
Tough throw there. It was a little bit low from Gleinig over to Isaiah Chandler. That could have been a big play if it was just a little bit higher, but Chandler could not get a handle on it as he was kind of falling to the turf.
All right, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Wildcats. And Gleinig is in the shotgun. He's back now. He hands it off to Goldsby. Goldsby is going to try to pick up a couple of yards up the middle. And the ball is on the turf again, and this time it's going to be recovered by the GP Wildcats.
Looks like the refs are going to say he was down on contact anyway.
Okay, that's a good call.
But now it's a 3rd down and looks to be about 6 yards to go. So this is going to be a big 3rd down conversion if they can get it. If not, they're going to have to punt it away, and it's going to be a tough play for their defense.
Let's see what they dial up. And Gleinig is going to throw over, and it's a little too high for the intended receiver, Isaiah Chandler. So that'll stop the clock, and that's going to force a rare punt. Haven't seen a lot of punts in this game tonight, but now GP will be forced to punt deep in their own territory. So Moody's defense does what they're supposed to do. They stop them, and they're going to get now to turn it over to the offense, and I imagine very good field position.
Yeah, that was tough for the Wildcats. A tough 3 and out when you're down 2 scores and about 7.5 minutes left to go in the game. You would have liked to push the ball up the field, and now the Wildcat defense really needs to hold the Trojans here.
And they need to get this punt off. There's only 3 seconds on the clock, and it's a high snap, but the punter's got it. And let's see what kind of roll they get here. And it'll roll down to about the 46-yard line, so that's where the Trojans will take over. 7:27 to play in the game. Trojans lead 35-21. We're back after this. Welcome back to Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. And it looks like we got some Wildcats moving here prematurely. And here's the call. Well, they're going to call it against the Moody Trojans, so apparently they were drawn offside. So
looks like both sides were jumping at the same time.
that'll move Moody back 5 yards. So it'll now be 1st and 15 from their own 49-yard line. They've got a 2-score lead. They're up 35-21. So I guess the strategy here, Patrick, is keep it on the ground, run as much clock off as you can, and avoid any kind of turnover.
Yeah, just hold on to the football, eat some clock, and you should be able to go home with a win if it all goes according to plan.
John Michael Ortega remains in there at quarterback, and he hands off to Nathaniel Sada, who is going to get past a few would-be tacklers. That's a gain of about 5, so that'll make it more of a manageable 2nd down and 10 now. You know, every team, Patrick, has their different ways of getting the play call in. I see where Ortega comes to the sidelines and gets it from his coach. 2nd and 9. The pitch, and this is Asbell, and Asbell has nowhere to run.
That was a good play by the Wildcat defense. Asbell had absolutely nowhere to go and maybe gets a yard on the play, but now it's a 3rd and long, and they need another stop, and then they'll get the ball back.
So Ortega is getting the call right now from his coach. It's a short little jog of about 7 or 8 yards back to the huddle. That makes it convenient. So now it's 3rd and 10. This is a big, big defensive play now for the GP Wildcats. They try to stop this drive. And Ortega, well, the ball is on the ground again, but GP unable to recover, but the Moody Trojans are. And That's going to make it a really tough fourth down conversion. I believe there is a flag on the play. Let's see what it is. Or is it just a timeout? That's a timeout.
It might just be a timeout.
All right, so Gregory Portland will call his timeout. This is a big play. Let's keep it here. Let's talk strategy, Patrick. It's fourth down. And let's see. It's going to be fourth and long.
You got to expect them to punt it here. They punted it on the last drive when it was a shorter down and further along in the Wildcat zone. So about 50-yard line here. You got to punt it. Try to pin them as deep as you can and force them to go all the way down the field. And you've got the clock. You've got the score lead, so you don't have to take any risks at this point. You just kind of trust in your defense to make the stops.
Well, it certainly worked last time that Moody punted the ball away. They did pin GP deep in their own territory, and GP was unable to get a first down. So I imagine they will do it again, as you indicated.
And they added a little bit of time onto the game clock as well, because it ran a little bit after they tried to stop it. So about 6 minutes left in this game.
All right, let's see what Moody does here. Yeah, they're gonna kick the ball here, and let's see what kind of field position that Gregory Portland will wind up with, and it's gonna roll out of bounds at what, about the 21-yard line.
Yeah, decent roll there. Wasn't a booming punt, but maybe 3 to 4 more extra yards just on the roll. And now it's going to be about an 80-yard drive if GP wants to score. And they've got 6 minutes to now get 2 scores back.
Yeah, 5:52 to be exact. So they've got some work to do, but they have scored in spurts tonight, and very quickly too. And they need a big score here and fast, and then they're going to need to get the ball back again.
And they were down a few scores early in this game. They came back to tie it, so it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for the Wildcats to be able to come back and make this a game.
And you're right. They were down early, 21-0, to come back to tie it. So Gage Gleining is going to try to lead his team down the field here, and it's going to be a handoff. And not a whole lot of yardage there by Colleen Goldsby.
We really haven't seen a lot of Goldsby in this second half. And granted, they did score on one passing play on their first drive, and they haven't had much time. And Moody has really killed the clock, but Goldsby hasn't had too many touches in this second half at all.
All right, 2nd and 6 now. Gliding back, looking. And, boy, he's got all day to throw. Now he's going to take off, and he's at the 30, and I believe he may have the first down. And he does have the first down. Yeah, he got it.
All right.
Looks like they're going to go ahead and move the chains. That's a big first down pickup for GP. That'll stop the clock for just momentarily so they can set the chains. 5:15 left in the game. Down 2 touchdowns. GP needs to score and score quickly and get the ball back. Gleining is back. Once again, he's got great protection across the middle and just a little bit low, as it was intended for Brian Harris.
And it looks like GP is really going for the big play. On that last play where Gleining had to scramble, he was looking deep. On this one, he had a guy deep that he was aiming for. He actually had, it looked like Isaiah Chandler open on the right about halfway to the first down, and he decided to go over the middle where there's a little bit of coverage in there.
So let's see what they do here on 2nd and 10. Gleining's going to have a quick pass. Incomplete, hits the turf. So now it's going to be a big 3rd and 10 upcoming now for the Wildcats.
I'm not sure exactly who that pass was to. There are 3 guys on that side, and it really wasn't directly to any of them. So a big 3rd and 10 coming up for the Wildcats.
Conrad Horst was in the area code, but you never know. All right, this is obviously you're going to have to call a 4-down territory now. It's no looking back now. So this is a big 3rd down 10 play, and then Gleining is going to take it himself and looking for some yardage here. Got maybe, what, about 4, so that's going to set up about 4th and 6, looks like.
And I don't hate that play call on 3rd down. You want to try to get a couple of yards. The passing plays have not been working great. Moody only had 3 rushers coming in, so you would have hoped to get a little bit more there, but definitely not the worst play call to run it on 3rd down, but now they need to get this 4th down conversion.
Officially, they need 7 yards now for a first down. And Gleinig is back. Going to throw it down the left side. He's got a man. That's Brian Harris. And Brian's going to pick up a first down all the way down to the 36-yard line. Boy, they needed that. That keeps them in the ball game, without a doubt. They still have a chance. So they're going to mark the football officially at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, but the clock is running as soon as they get this set, so GP definitely has to keep their foot on the gas and keep running up to the line of scrimmage and get the ball moving.
Gleinig is back. Great protection again across the middle, incomplete. Intended for number 87, Connor Durrell, who already has a touchdown tonight. GP has 2 timeouts left, 4:08 to play.
Surprised there wasn't pass interference called on that play. It looked like the defender was there just a little bit too early, but no flags on the play, and now it's 2nd down.
All right. We know what they need to do. They need to score and score quickly and then get the ball back. And let's see what they can do here on 2nd and 10. Gleinig is, again, great protection. Now he's going to take off, and he's going to get to about the 28-yard line. I think it's about a yard shy of a first down.
And the Trojans will take that. They're only rushing 3 guys right now, so they're dropping the rest in coverage. And if Gleinig can't find anyone to pass it to, he's going to have to run. But they have great coverage because there's 8 guys back there. And
he was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. So the clock is stopped right now at 4:01. 3rd and 2 now. Goldsby picks up the first down, and he is going to get into the end zone. That is a big 34-yard touchdown run from Mr. Goldsby as he finds the end zone again. And GP, this game is not over yet, everybody. This is going to come down to the wire, I have a feeling. 3:54 to play.
And that's exactly the kind of play you expect when you give the ball to Colleen Goldsby. He breaks a couple tackles, he gets out ahead of guys, and he was stumbling for the last 5 to 10 yards of his run, and he gets it into the end zone, and now it's just a 1-score game.
All right, Jackson Sutton in now for the point after. It's a low snap, it's a good hold, and it's a good kick, and it is good. 3:54 to play in the ball game. And GP comes back. They claw themselves back into within a touchdown at 35-28, 3:54 to play. So, Patrick, I guess you kick it off here, and you just got to get your defense to hold.
Yeah, and the Wildcats do only have 2 timeouts right now. They did use one earlier in the second half. So, you got to keep an eye on that, and that might come back to haunt them if they had to use that 1 timeout, because now they can't stop the clock as many times, and there's under 4 minutes to go. Moody's been moving the ball well on the ground, and there were a couple fumbles in that last drive that kind of set them back, but if they can get those handoffs working, they might be able to ice this game.
All right, you're exactly right. They've had no trouble whatsoever running the football tonight, so a couple of first downs will maybe run that clock out. So let's see what happens. Let's see what GP is going to do on the kickoff. Let's see if they got something interesting up their sleeves here.
It looks like Moody's ready for something interesting up their sleeves.
And it's a kickoff. They're going to go ahead and kick it deep. That's a good roll. And
that's
oh
an
my
incredible
goodness.
Roll.
And that
is
a lot happened there. Darrell Asbell, you know, he had to make a tough decision. Do I pick it up or do I take a chance and let the ball roll in the end zone? But with GP Wildcats on his vicinity, he didn't have a choice, and he had to go ahead and pick up the ball. So, wow, Moody is going to start from the 2-yard line. You cannot afford any mistakes.
That was pretty perfect for GP right there. They kick it kind of low, and it rolled really far. And for Asbell, if he doesn't touch that, there's a chance that GP can fall on it. So, tough decision for him, like you said, but probably the right one.
They're going to need a good run to get out of the shadow of their end zone, and they're going to pick up about 4 to 5 yards here. So That's a good gain by DQ Lindsay. So it does give Moody a little bit of breathing room now. The clock is running, 3:30 left in the ball game. Trojans up 35-28. GP desperate to get the ball back. So GP needs force a 3 and out here to have any kind of chance to get the ball back and tie the game and maybe send this game into overtime.
And they really got to sell out on the run.
All right, that's DQ Lindsay again, and he's short of a first down. So looks like we're going to have a timeout called here. Let's see. And who called it? Probably Moody, I have a feeling.
Looks like it was GP. The ref looked like he was signaling towards the defense.
All right, it was GP. I thought maybe Moody might want to talk about it because this is going to be their biggest third down of the football game, without a doubt.
Yeah,
all
it
right.
looks like it's about 3rd and 2, so they really have been moving the ball well enough that this should be a first down for them, but GP's really going to have to stack the box and not let them get the first down because this might decide the game.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it. This is the biggest play of the game right now because Moody has to convert. If not, they can't go for it, obviously, on 4th down. They're too close to their goal line. So if they don't convert here, they're going to have to punt the ball. And barring any kind of craziness on the punt, GP is going to get excellent field position. So Moody's obviously got the advantage with a great running game. Let's see who's going to carry the ball this time.
And keep an eye on the trickery. It's worked for them early in the game, and they might go back to it.
And that is DQ, and DQ is going to pick up the first down.
And that should just about ice the game there. If the Wildcats get a stop here, they might have a little bit of time left, but clock's running. It's a first down, and they only have 1 timeout. So really, the ball is in the favor of the Trojans right now.
And the clock is at 2:35 and counting, and they're going to run the play clock. There's 16 seconds left on the play clock. They'll run it all the way down to probably 2 seconds before they snap the football. That's exactly what they do. And that's DQ again. And he'll pick up about 5 yards. And looks like GP is going to call a timeout here. That's going to be their last timeout. And they call it with 2:09 left in the football game.
So doing some quick math, it looks like there might be a little bit of extra time if GP can get a stop here. Maybe they'll have 20 to 30 seconds to get something going if they can stop. But right now it's a 2nd and maybe 4 yards, so they really need to buckle down here if they want a chance to get the ball back.
Well, this is what Moody does best. They run the football and they pick up yardage. And looks like Rick Rhodes is out on the field right now talking to the head official about, he's pointing at the clock. There's something that he doesn't like about the time left on the clock. I think he thinks that there should be more time on the clock. You see him there walking back at about the 20-yard line. So I'm not sure. I think he felt like there needed to be more time put on the clock. I'm not sure why. But right now there is 2:09 left in the game. It's 2nd down and 5. Oh, big hit on DQ Lindsay by GP Wildcats. Looks like that was number 36, Daniel Gonzalez. We've seen Daniel put some hurt on some other players tonight as well.
And that was a big stop. And right now, if GP gets the stop right now, they'll have about 50 seconds minus whatever time comes off on the punt. But they have to get the stop here, and that was a good 2nd down play by them, but they got to follow it up now on 3rd.
All right, the clock shows 1:39 and counting. There's 12 seconds left on the play clock. I imagine they'll run it again down to about 2 seconds. 1:30 left in the football game. And now what do we got going here? They're huddling back up. Play clock is down to 0.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to take a timeout, and they're going to talk it over. Big play right here, so you want to make sure everyone knows exactly what they're doing.
All right, they're going to have to put some more time back on the clock. It shows 1:22 right now. Let's see how many more seconds they put back on, because I think they called timeout and the clock was still running
Yeah, and with a 40-second play clock, as of right now, you'd have, like I said, about 50 seconds depending on how much time they put back on this, and that's minus whatever time comes off on the punt. But again, Moody only needs maybe 4 yards to ice this game.
All right, here we go now. It's 3rd and about 5. And the game clock remains at 1:22. And it's a handoff, and it's going to be a little bit short of a first down. So it's going to be 4th. So big play call here. Do you go for it or do you pump the ball away? They're going to need about 1.5 yards to get a first down.
I would punt it if I'm Moody.
Well, it looks like, well, they're sending the quarterback back in. So John Michael Ortega is back in there. It looks like they're going to go for it unless they pooch kick it here. Let's see.
Interesting play call here.
But the game clock is running. It's at 45 seconds. There's 9 seconds left on the play clock. So they are going to go for it. This is your ball game, and it's DQ Lindsay picking up the first down. It is a first down. Yeah, that's going to do it. So Moody uses their superior running game to get the first down, and they'll have to run one more play because there's 24 seconds left on the play clock and there's 28 seconds left on the game clock. So a big win for the Moody Trojans, and they're going to go to 2-0 on the season, 1-0 in district play. GP played a really, really good ball game tonight. I was very impressed. They came in with a lot of injuries. A good game played by both. But in the end, it's the Moody Trojans who win this football game 35-28.
And a very exciting game down here, and I gotta say, for my first high school football experience in Texas, it did not disappoint.
Well, Patrick Johnstone, we appreciate it. You helping us out tonight. It's your Chris 6th debut, and it was a really good one. And, all our Texas high school football games are like that. So congratulations to the Moody Trojans. They win it tonight, 35-28. Thank you so much for watching Game Night South Texas. Now, if you will, switch it over to Chris 6 News. They're starting up here right now, and then we'll have the Friday Night Fever for you coming up in about 15 minutes. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a great weekend, everybody.